What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be doing the match preview for Barcelona versus Rayo Vallecano in La Liga. What's going on? Who's playing this game? Who's going to be managing the game? I got no clue. But we're playing tomorrow. That's all that matters. We got some Barcelona action. It's going to be the second last game of the season and the second last game for probably another month and a half of no Barcelona action. So sad times, but also good times as well, because bloody hell, I want the season to end so fast because we've just been absolutely shite. Of course, final home game as well. Lots to still play for, and hope we can finish off the season strongly and secure, I should say, our final objective, which of course is to finish in second place. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get the 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. And also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 7 p.m. local time, so 2 hours earlier than the usual kickoff time, and this match will be taking place at the Lluís Companys Stadium in Montjuic. Unfortunately, not for the final time ever, but for the final time this season. This will be Barcelona's last home game for the second year in a row. I believe our second last game of the season is at home and not the actual last day of the season being at home. And nonetheless, though, it will be the last time we play in front of our fans for this season. And the referee for this match has also been confirmed. On the pitch, it is Gil Mentano. Bloody hell. And on the VAR, it is Jose Luis Monera Montero. Let's start off by taking a look at the league table, where Barcelona are currently sat in second place in La Liga on 79 points after playing 36 matches. We do have 24 wins, 7 draws, 5 losses. Look at our last 5 games in the league, 2 losses and 3 wins. I feel like I've been saying that in recent form very consistently for quite some time now. Of course, Real Madrid gonna win the league. Atletico Madrid now has secured Champions League football, so this will be the top 4 teams in La Liga. And in which order they finish, only time will tell. Of course, Atletico Madrid can still get second place if, you know, we lose our 2 games. We're going to lose their last 2 games and they win both. They can still somehow creep in there. The goal difference, of course, is pretty close between Atletico Madrid, Girona, and Barcelona. But, of course, it is in the hands of Barcelona. 1 more win needed from their final 2 games to secure second place. We can do it by a way of draws as well, because, of course, Girona, the most points they can get is 81. And we can get, of course, more than that in order for us to get 81 points with the draw our last 2 games. Then of course, goal difference head-to-head kicks in. Our goal difference, of course, we're only beating them by 1 right now, so if they win their last 2 games and we draw, it's not going to work out in our favor. So we just need 1 more win. That's all we need from the final 2 games, and then second place is ours, or Girona slip up as well. Girona do play Valencia at the Mestalla, so that could be, I think, a definite squeaky bum kind of game. You never know. I think that could be a definite challenge. Don't think it's as easy as it can be, especially on paper, but that could be a very, very big opportunity there for them to slip up. I have a funny feeling they might end up drawing that game, but I think Michael was talking in their press conference saying that he doesn't think that Barcelona will lose their last 2 games. So I think second place is all about wrapped up. But again, more so because Girona slipped up than us capitalizing, because we lost the game against them, and you know what, it is what it is. But let's get secure second place. So I think now we do have more points than Real Madrid did last season, finishing in second place, which, I mean, is that something to gas over? No, but I think that's a little cool stat. Just thought I would let you guys know. I think last season they finished Real Madrid on second place on 78 points, so we're a better second place team, I guess. Whatever. But yeah, let's wait and see. Hopefully we can just get that 1 more win to secure second place. Of course, extra 7 million euros, and of course that trip and flight booked to Saudi Arabia in January. Now, if you take a look at our opponents in Rayo Vallecano and where they're currently standing in the league table, they are currently sat in 15th place in La Liga on 38 points after playing 36 matches. They only have 8 wins, 14 draws, and 14 losses. You look at their last 5 games in the league, 2 losses, a draw, and 2 wins. Now the Vallecano from last season, of course, under Andre Iraola, who's doing very well for Bournemouth. They're very much, you know, one of the worst sides in the league. Of course, away from home, they can be dangerous in their stadium, which again does have the atmosphere to live up to all the hype and expectation. But overall, this season, very, very poor for them. I think they mathematically can still get relegated, but it will need, you know, a big, big miracle. But I think they will be fine in retrospect. But yes, the team that's been very much underperforming this season. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Rayo Vallecano. Like I just mentioned, so far this season, they have been underperforming, especially for how good their squad is for their level and their expectations, especially from last season as well. But the last time we did face them this season was away from home. It was actually back in 2023 in November, where we did draw 1-1. We were coming to this game on pretty poor form as well, so everything kind of, played into its part, so to speak. I think we did go up 1-0. I believe it was, and then they scored an own goal or something like that. It was a close game where Barcelona just weren't, clinical or McCreeing anything in the final third, so to speak. It was a very squeaky bum kind of game. I know I use that term twice now in this video, but it's kind of like a nervy game where things can happen, things can change, but it was a really, really weird game. And of course, Barcelona during that time were playing very, very weird football, so it kind of made sense into retrospect. I think also last time we played Vallecano in our home stadium was the Camp Nou last season, the first game where we drew 0-0. So you know what? I think it's I think we beat them last season. Oh no, I think we lost them at home last season as well. So our last 3 or 4 games against Vallecano have not been great. So hopefully the streak does come to an end in this game. Now, if you look at Vallecano's last 6 matches in all competition, in their last match, they beat Granada 2-1. They drew 0-0 with Valencia. They lost to Almeria 1-0. They lost to Villarreal 3-0. They beat Osasuna 2-1 and drew 0-0 with Getafe. So let's take a look now at the last 3 games of all competition. Firstly, is the 1-0 loss to Almeria. Now, I did, of course, talk about this game in the last match preview where we were previewing the Almeria game. We talked about it, of course, from the Almeria point of view. But let's talk about it from the Vallecano point of view. This was absolutely embarrassing. How they lost to one of the worst La Liga teams I've seen at their home stadium, which is supposed to be, a fortress or at least somewhat decent, is beyond me. And you can see how well they played in this game as well based on the player ratings. Nothing but pure domination from them. Just could not finish their chances. They really didn't even create too much in the final third. One lucky break, and Almeria, credit to them, defended very well, especially for their standards this season. So everything kind of played wrongly and played into the wrong hands of Vallecano in this game, but still losing to Almeria, bloody hell, that is nothing short of embarrassing. Next up is their 0-0 draw against Valencia. Honestly, I would say on paper, both teams evenly matched, but being at the Mestalla and based on form this season, I would give Valencia the nod in terms of being the favorites. But in this match, I would say it was defended very well by Vallecano. Valencia were on top for the majority of the game. You can see there with the rating as well. Stole Dimitrievski in goal, had a really good game. The defense was very strong as well. They had nothing going for it. Vallecano, it was basically all Valencia. Of course, they had a few chances here and there. Like every team will have chances in games unless you're just purely shy. But yeah, Valencia just couldn't really finish their dinner. But credit to Vallecano, who did defend very, very well in this game. And you can see definitely a similar setup to what we can expect tomorrow at the Montjuic. And finally, the last match of all competition was a 2-1 win against Granada at home. Big win for them to kind of, cement the fact they will be in La Liga next season. Of course, Araujo, their star midfielder, got a red card in this game, so he will miss this game, which would be, of course, a big bonus for us. But in this game, it was all about for them winning the game, especially with the relegation gap battle kind of getting a bit. They're kind of getting tied down into it just a little bit. This is very much, I would say, a performance that we saw like with Barcelona against Almeria a few days ago, where go out there, get the win, and get the hell out of there. The fact they conceded against Granada says how much they just want to get the 3 points and just leave. That's all they really want in this game, and they end up achieving that. So overall, final thoughts on Vallecano. I would say they're a very underperforming side in La Liga this season. They are managed by their manager Inigo Perez, who's very inexperienced. I think he came in, I forget who Vallecano appointed after Iraola left, but he got sacked mid-season, and Inigo Perez came in just to steady the ship a little bit. Very inexperienced manager, never heard or seen of him before, so they're kind of playing the younger game with it, and it's kind of working out well for them a little bit. They are going to survive, but long-term and medium-term wise, I don't know if that's sustainable or not. In terms of players to look out for, they do have some decent options. They have, of course, Les Jeunes in defense, Trejo, who will be suspended for this game, their midfielder, Esse, the bald guy who always turns up against Barcelona. Don't forget about Stole Dimitrievski in goal, who's had a very good campaign despite conceding goals left, right, and center, and keeping no clean sheets, and a player that Barcelona have been heavily linked to a lot in the goalkeeper department, I would say, over the past 2 years. Very experienced squad, very balanced out. Of course, they got Falcao on the bench. I think he's going to be leaving Vallecano at the end of the season. So it's a team that, can cause some damage, especially, with their recent form against Barcelona. The majority of these players have been in those games where they got a draw against Barcelona or beaten them, of course. So they know how to do it. They've had the feeling of doing it as well. So just now down to really doing it again. But for Barcelona, it's a very simple game. when you create those chances in the final third, they have to be finished off. Because once Vallecano start to leak those goals, especially early on in the first half, they tend to let go of the break and kind of admit defeat, especially against a topper side. So get those chances in behind early on, take the lead into going halftime 2-0 as well. Don't give Vallecano a chance to run in behind and also pull one off the break as well. You give them any momentum, they tend to not take it, but I think against the topper sides like Barcelona and stuff, when everything's going against, you know, the morale and the storyline, they probably will take it. So be conservative and also finish your chances in the final third. This Vallecano team is weaker than what we've seen over the past few games that we faced them in, and definitely a team that shouldn't be causing us problems unless we cause the problems ourselves. Now, we do have one very quick fitness and injury update, you could say, and that is on one of the captains of the team, Ronald Araujo. According to Javi Miguel from AS, Ronald Araujo still has discomfort in his right knee for a few weeks now, and it's not ruled out that he'll not play again this season, thinking about the upcoming Copa America. Now, I tweeted this. I believe I said this in the video. If not, I tweeted it. It's, you know, evidence is there. As soon as I saw this hairstyle from Araujo, you know, the Uruguayan flag colors, he's checked out. I mean, do I blame him? No, but you know, someone who's a captain of the club, who kisses the badge every time he gets the opportunity to, who's kind of costs us in the big moments this season in April, checking out now is a bit annoying. Can he play? Yes. He just doesn't want to risk it, which again is fair enough. I think we kind of have second place wrapped up. If we didn't have second place wrapped up, I would be fuming, absolutely fuming right now. But the reality is, his mind is at the Copa America. And I would say, to be honest, a lot of these players' minds are probably in the Copa America / Euros at this point. I don't blame them as well. I just want, you know what, I just want them to go out there and get the win and leave. That's all I really need at this point. But looks like Araujo, we might not see him again this season, and we might not see him ever again in a Barcelona shirt if we do end up selling him. So, I mean, bloody hell, a lot of storylines there. But for now, Araujo's appearance for the remainder of the season is very much in doubt. Time now to get into Xavi's press conference reaction. Yes, the press conference went ahead, and yes, Xavi faced the media, and the last time he faced the media, he almost cost himself his job on the spot, and maybe potentially could still have cost his job. Now, he spoke with the media. It was the shortest press conference I've ever experienced as a Barcelona manager. As a Barcelona fan, I think only 11 questions were asked in the space of 11 minutes. Xavi answered them very quickly and briefly, and that was it. So let's get to see what Xavi had to say during this press conference. First, he was asked by Barca 1 on the game, because we knew that no one else was going to ask about the game, and Xavi said it's a great opportunity to secure the Super Cup position. It's a very important match, and we want to sentence it in the right way. Then asked, what the bloody hell is going on, man? What is happening here? He said, look, the club gives me peace of mind and enthusiasm, and we continue with the same ambition. I understand all the noise, but it doesn't change anything from the inside. He was then asked on his future again, saying that, look, I'm not interested. I receive information, but I'm interested in having the trust of the president and Deco, which remains intact. Nothing has changed. I understand that the media has to publish nothing, but for me, nothing has changed from my perspective. Xavi then is asked on talks about his future, maybe, saying that we will sit down. If we have to talk about something, we will do it. 3 weeks ago, we sat here to announce that it was going to be continuing. Absolutely nothing has changed. If there is a change, of course, we will say it. We will announce it. I am calm, and I'm eager to face tomorrow's game. On his future with the club, so that I can't provide more information. We want to win and compete and secure second place. I have zero doubts that things can go well. I have an extraordinary basis in the squad with people from La Masia. We have consolidated themselves. I continue with the enthusiasm and the professionalism. Barcelona is the club of my life. So Xavi is basically saying exactly what we're hearing from the media from Xavi's perspective, that he's been told nothing, he's been given nothing but calmness, and that, like, look, the situation is, you know, there's no situation whatsoever. So you hear the media and Laporta's side going absolute bananas, but Xavi's saying, look, I talked to Laporta and Deco, they both said they're happy, everything's all good. I'm gonna keep working, so I don't know about all this noise and stuff like that. So that's what Xavi's saying. He's not gonna, of course, sit here and be like, yeah, my job's on the line, I heard Laporta's pissed off, or whatever the case may be. He's saying that, look, we won the game against Almeria. I texted and called Laporta like, yo, Wagwan, what's going on? He's like, no, you're good, bro. Just, you know, keep at it. See you at the end of the season. That's what he's, pretty much saying. He's asked whether he deserves such noise around him right now. He said, look, I'm looking forward to the tomorrow's game. I don't focus on whether I deserve it or not. These things usually happen at a club like Barcelona. He's then asked on what he told the players. He said, look, I've told them, I've conveyed to them that it's an honor to be at Barcelona, and we have to focus on tomorrow's game. Then asked to give a message to the fans, saying that we have to try and make sure that the Culés enjoy themselves. Let's let the fans be with us. The message is one of gratitude. So Xavi there, playing very much on the safe side. He's not, I don't think giving his true utter opinion, but it is what it is. He didn't ask on his words before the match against Almeria that kind of caused everything. So that, look, I am answering things that appear in the media. The president has not conveyed this to me. He has conveyed to me that this is very important to secure second place by the end of the season. And that is it. He's then finally asked on the current mood at the club. He said, look, I'm happy because I'm at the best club in the world. Christensen makes me improve. Nothing has changed. I'm eager to show what we can continue to compete. This year hasn't worked out for us, but I'm convinced that next year we can turn it around. What's also turned around is Xavi's narrative, Xavi's mood as well. We saw in the last press conference, look, it's going to be difficult next season. We're going to try. We're going to compete. Now he's saying, oh, my squad is great. We have good players. We got players in La Masia. We're going to go for it next season. So I think he's very much played on the safe side during this press conference. I don't think he really, vocalized his true actual opinion. But again, if he did, we have a game tomorrow, and it wouldn't have put anyone in the best of place. The fans coming to the stadium, the players going to the games. Because keep in mind, the players are like us. They're on Twitter refreshing, they're on Instagram refreshing, seeing what's going on. So do not ignore that fact as well. So I think overall, Xavi handled this press conference perfectly. I think he answered every question pretty well. Hopefully there's going to be no problems this time. Laporta just also arrived at the stadium for the Women's Copa del Rey final. He was asked about Xavi. He completely ignored the question, just said good morning, and he went inside. So, sorry, not good morning, good afternoon, and went inside. So, I mean, we will see. I think after the Vallecano game, we'll get more clarity. But I think from now until Sunday evening, once the game is over, nothing's really going to change. But let's see how things turn out. But that concluded Xavi's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Rayo Vallecano tomorrow. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We're going to start with the manager, of course, Xavi Hernandez. I'm going to try my best to predict his lineup. I think it will be fairly simple to predict in retrospect of who and what rotation he will do. But what he will execute is another question, of course. Of course, he did play on Thursday against Almeria, 48-hour turnover, so rotation is definitely expected in this game. And I think that Xavi will go with this lineup on the screen right now. I think he'll go with Ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Koundé, Cubarsí, Inigo Martinez, and João Cancelo. Midfield three of Christensen, Gundogan, and Fermin Lopez. Front three of Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, and Raphinha. I think Xavi will go fairly strong. Firstly, in that back line, I don't think he'll make any changes apart, of course, from the obvious one of Cancelo coming in for four. So you can say Cancelo was rested and now coming back in. Midfield three, of course, Gundogan was suspended. Christensen was on the bench. So that's two rested midfielders coming back in. I think Fermin Lopez got a brace. Definitely should be starting this game. But of course, you didn't give a Pedri another rest for him. Front three, if he starts Lamine Yamal, I can get why, his job is at risk. There is no way on God's beautiful green earth that Lamine Yamal should start this game. He started against Sociedad, started against Almeria. You're basically breaking him. I personally don't think Xavi will start him, but I also think that Xavi will. So I've gone with Lamine Yamal in there just so that if he does start, I look, great. I think Raphinha will 100% start the game alongside Lewandowski. The other attacker, though, is in question. Could be João Felix, could be Ferran Torres, could be Lamine Yamal, but it won't be Victor Roque, I'll tell you that right now as well. But this is the lineup that I think that Xavi Hernandez will select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Xavi will go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was a Barcelona coach, and I have made a few changes from Xavi's lineup prediction. I personally would go with this lineup on the screen right now. I would go with Ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Cancelo, Christensen, Inigo Martinez, and Hector Fort, a midfield three of Roberto, Gundogan, Fermin Lopez, and a front three of Raphinha, Lewandowski, and João Felix. Firstly, in that back line, really want to see Cancelo at right back, give him some confidence as well. I think Hector Fort was brilliant, so I'll give him continuity there at left back. We've got to rest Koundé and Cubarsí for me. They have been playing criminal amount of minutes. I'd give Inigo another nod. Again, yes, for him it's a bit risky Monday, Thursday, Sunday, but he's been fully fresh. I think he can definitely, compete with that. I would drop Christensen back at the center back position because we have no one else. I want to rest Cubarsí and Koundé, so that leaves Christensen there, which also leads to Roberto back in the pivot. Again, rather have Roberto than Romeu, and he's just going to be there for vibes, really. Of course, Gundogan comes back on the right. Pedri gets a rest, which is nice, and Fermin Lopez gets a start and fully deserved from him. Right wing, I would go with Raphinha. Left wing, João Felix. I don't think Ferran Torres took his opportunity against Almeria. Also got subbed on ahead of João Felix against Sociedad, so I would give João Felix now the opportunity. Up front, I would go Lewandowski. Again, I'm being a bit realistic. If I was actually the Barcelona manager, would I go with Victor Roque? Probably not, because we just need to get second place. I would definitely start Victor Roque if we have nothing to play for whatsoever, but we still gotta, get that spot, which is still very important. So I think overall, get some good rotation, good balance. Some players deserve to start. Some players rotation as well. Fully fresh side, in my opinion, too. And that's the line that I was like for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know if you'd rather pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result is going to be in this match? I sat right on the fence. I've gone with the 1-1, mainly because of the whole entire circus that's happening right now. I have no confidence in the board, the players, coaching staff, sporting director, president. Why? Why should I? I mean, yes, is our team better? Yes, should we go out there and beat them in the final home game of the season? Yes, final game for some of these players at home, potentially Xavi as well. Go to the most important thing for me is to win this game. So go into the final game of the season at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan and not worrying about having to win that game. Because honestly, if you're smart and you got some money, bet on Barcelona losing that game. Because I will tell you right now for free, we are going to lose that game. That's why we have to win this game. We gotta get second place. I feel like hopefully we can win this game and then move on. But I still feel like with all that happening, I feel like Barcelona will probably draw both games and then pray to God that Girona drop points. That's what I think is good. That's what I think is gonna happen if I was to make a bet. But hopefully we can get the result. I do think there's a better chance of Barcelona winning this game than losing. But I just think that Vallecano might nick a goal early and then Barcelona come back and score like in the hour mark and then just can't break them down in the end. That's how I kind of see the game going. But hopefully I'm wrong, and I better be wrong, because if we drop points in this game and we have to go to that final game against Sevilla having to win, may God have mercy on my soul. But I've got an official prediction of a 1-1 draw. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the score line will be. So that's the match preview for Barcelona versus Rayo Vallecano in La Liga. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing, firstly, of course, is your score prediction, and secondly, on the lineups. Firstly, would you rather pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup? What do you think Xavi will go with? What would you go with? You're the manager. Leave me all your thoughts down below, and of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me and watch the game with me. Live watch alongs are back for now, obviously. I will do a live watch on for the last 2 games of La Liga, and then next season we'll discuss it there. And of course, I will be there tomorrow as well for sure for my match review. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's see what happens, boys. Take care and Forza Barca.
Yeah.